If I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and thought labor might be starting, the first thing I would not do is jump out of bed yelling, "It's time!" I know that's how it happens in the movies, but real life is a lot less dramatic. If I woke up in the middle of the night experiencing contractions, this is exactly how I would think through the next few hours. My name is Jamie, I'm a midwife. Every week, I share practical, no-nonsense childbirth education to help you feel more confident going into labor. If that's the type of content you're here for, go ahead and hit subscribe now so you don't miss out. One of the great things about labor is it doesn't usually require urgent decision-making immediately. Most of the time, you actually have time, and I would use it. First, I'd stay in bed. My first question wouldn't be, should I go to the hospital or call my midwife? It would be, can I go back to sleep? If contractions weren't demanding all of my attention, I would for sure sleep. Even if it's only an hour, that's a valuable hour. I've seen women spend 12 hours awake before active labor even started. When active labor picked up, they had no reserves and were often likely to fall victim to the cascade of interventions. Step 2. If I couldn't sleep, I still wouldn't jump into action. I'd ask myself, am I hungry? Am I thirsty? Do I need to use the bathroom? Can I change positions? Sometimes contractions settle, sometimes they don't. Either way, I've taken care of myself. Step 3, I definitely would not wake the entire house. I know everyone imagines waking their husband up like, it's time, the baby is coming. Meanwhile, contractions are coming once every 12 minutes. So I'd probably let them sleep. Step 4, I would not be announcing it to the world either. I would definitely not be updating any group or family chats, because now everyone's watching, everyone's waiting, and everyone's asking. Suddenly, there'd be a lot of pressure to perform. Nothing slows time down like 30 people asking if the baby's here yet. Step 5, I would eat. I know, food is the least exciting answer. But labor, it's physical work, so I'd grab a snack, I'd drink some water, and I'd probably throw in some electrolytes. Step 6, I would not obsess over the contraction timer. The things I would check in with, can I still talk? Can I walk? Do the contractions keep coming? Are they building in intensity? These things are far more telling than the contraction timer. Step 7, I'd keep the lights low and throw on a podcast. No, seriously, because if I don't have something else to focus on, I'm going to spend the next 3 hours overanalyzing every contraction. Now, let's be clear. The things I would not be doing: deep cleaning, organizing the nursery, baking freezer meals, or walking till my Fitbit filed a complaint. Dim lights, quiet household, minimal distractions. I'd want to keep my body producing oxytocin and minimize adrenaline. So when would I sound the alarms, call my midwife, or go to the hospital? Eventually, labor answers this question. Contractions become longer, stronger, and more intense. Talking gets harder, and my world starts getting smaller. Instead of wondering what I was going to be making for breakfast, I would be wondering how I was going to get through the next contraction. If I thought I was in labor at 2 o'clock in the morning, I wouldn't rush, I wouldn't panic. I certainly wouldn't feel like I had to make something happen. I wouldn't tell the world, and I'd trust that labor knows how to unfold. One of the biggest lessons I've learned as a midwife is labor rarely needs more effort. Labor usually needs more patience.